Okay. Hi. Wow. Why do I look like I'm taking up not enough? Okay, check this out. There we go. I feel like this is a more appropriate angle. Like I'm taking up more real estate on the screen. And everybody knows that the importance of a person is directly correlated to the amount of real estate they take up on a screen. I think I heard that somewhere. Probably Warren Buffett or something. Anyway, let's go to FL Studio. And now it appears as though I am taking up too much real estate on the screen. Let's there we go. I think this works. All right, let's see how many hardstyle kicks we got today. Last week, I feel like every single song was hardstyle. And do you have the stream intro file? Are you asking me if I have the stream intro file, which I play from my computer every time I start the stream? The answer is yes. Thank you, Raham. I like my watch as well. It's quite polarizing. People either love it or they think it came from a McDonald's Happy Meal. And sometimes both. I don't know why, but I'm just like, there. I'm happy with this angle. Anyway, let's listen to some music. Also, not a whole lot of submissions this week. If anybody knows anybody who may or may not like to have their music berated on the internet, they can for sure send it in and we can for sure berate it on the internet. So maybe share this with a couple of your friends that make music and we can have a listen. So first thing we're going to do is, what the fuck is this? Oh my God. Look at this. What is going on with this divider? It's like oh no. Oh no. Okay. Why is it like this? Is this new? Did I update by accident? Anyway, whatever. Let's listen to the first one. This one is Ice Kayab, Do Not Enter. All right, that's very welcoming title. Let's make sure we're not doing any dirty stuff. Okay. Oops, I deleted it. So I like it. It's cool coming up onto this section. Once it gets to like this dubstep part, I feel like it's kind of just dragging on a little bit. There's not a whole lot of information. There's not a whole lot of development or movement happening. It's kind of just regurgitating the chord progression with the arpeggio. So to me, you could either embellish these sections a bit more to give them more of a reason to exist, or just cut this whole section in half. Okay, so there's a lot of sounds happening, and that's cool, but I think there's so much stuff in the background, it's just kind of a mess. So you got like your main wubs and dubs and dub wubs, dubstep wubs and stuff happening in squelches and yoinks and whatnot, but there's also just kind of like this like background churning sound happening. So you've got some cool sounds in here, but to me, it's a bit of a mess. There doesn't seem to be a common phrase, or, you know, like it's not like ying wub wub yoink yoink wub. Ying wub wub yoink yoink wub wub wub. You know, like there's no like phrase. It just kind of sounds like a lot of cool sounds that are thrown on top of each other. So I think you have some good stuff to work with. But right now, the way that it's being presented is just a bit scatterbrained. It's just kind of like, check out all these sounds at the same time. And then I would also say that if you were to find a phrase amongst this, thank you, Raham, I'll grab it in a sec. If you were to find a phrase that we could grab onto that's catchy, that feels like it's conveying an idea, then all of a sudden this drop could be way longer, like twice as long or more, because the drop ended very abruptly. You know, we have all this buildup and then we have a drop that's this long. But like right now, I don't really want it to be longer because it's just a bit abrasive on the ears in terms of how many noises are happening. Like I like this motif. I like the plucky thing. You could maybe try to have the drop have a bit, not those sounds per se, but the dum 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 dum. Like try to maybe use that as inspiration for the way that you set up your wubs and dubs. Maybe the wubs and dubs could be the wub dub version of this little motif that you came up with. But to me, this part has a bit of feeling to it, whereas the drop just kind of sounds like a bunch of nasty sounds altogether. Let's keep going. Yeah, so same thoughts for this part. Like there's two main things here. The drops are just kind of noise, like interesting noise for sure, some cool wubs, but just not really conveying any sort of idea or motif or phrasing. It's just kind of like when this pause happens, I don't really even fully understand where I am in like the measure or bar. But also you got to think there's the arpeggio and stuff happening in the background, but you don't really hear it. It's just kind of like a noise layer. Like it's not contributing anything to the track because it's the wubs are so loud and they're so underneath. So they're not really doing anything useful except cluttering up the mix. So first of all, I would get rid of that background stuff from the drops, at least initially. And then from there, I would try to chisel out something that's a bit more, has a bit more of a phrase to it for your, you could still use the sounds. The sounds are cool and aggressive and everything. They just should you should try to convey a phrase as opposed to just what seems not random, but it seems a bit just kind of all over the place to me. Yeah, and those are my thoughts. I think the cinematic parts are cool. I think that the wubs are cool sounding, but you need to find the song. You kind of have the tools to make the song here, but I don't think you have a song here. I think you just have a demo reel of all the sounds that you can make, and now use them to create more of a phrase that follows a bit more structure. I hope that makes sense. Okay, moving on. Okay, I am ready. I'm ready for this. This is King Cobra Live, Far From Home featuring Oxidize.
Cobra Alarm. Maybe we still have a chance. Maybe you could say goodbye to me. But what do you know? 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 Why did it have to be me? Cause my heart can't take this no more. I saw the one thing I love to go, and she let me fly, fly from home. What are the chances?
You know, this is one of your more accessible tracks, I think, and I dig that. I really liked when it this. This part is dope, especially I wonder if it would be as impactful to me if it weren't for the context of the whole track and all the other tracks you've sent in, where it's like normally I'm used to ear sex of the non-consensual type. And this is a little like when it goes into that deep part. I was pumped. It hit pretty hard. Overall, this is pretty cool. It's still hard and it's still like kind of disgusting in some spots in certain ways, you know, intentionally, of course. But I think with this track you've brought your orbit around the normie kind of music. You've tightened your orbit up very slightly, maybe a couple kilometers. You know, you're still like 7.8 light years away, but now you're a couple 100 kilometers closer. which is cool. In terms of mix, again, I like, what the fuck am I gonna say? You know, I don't know this style of music, but I wish the vocals when they were there, like, does the track need to be 10/10ths here? Can the track chill out a little bit? And then maybe when it hits, it feels like it's hitting harder, because I just feel like you don't need to be full rail to rail loudness, and that would allow the vocals to cut through a little bit more. Because you can't really tell where, like, I don't want to call it a drop, like the heavier parts of the track, you can't really tell where they're at visually, or kind of audibly as well, you know, like obviously we can hear the kick drum come in and okay, now we're at that spot. But like, why not dial this back to like 8.5 out of 10, let the vocals come through a little bit more, and then hit us with the 25 out of 10. That's pretty much all I got for this one. Don't really know what else to say. But it's cool. And this might be my favorite King Cobra live track so far. So good job. All right. I hope that's helpful in some weird way. Let's check out chord burr thing. I wonder what phone number this is. I like how you can see over here the dual tone, like I don't know if you guys know how the what's it, not the dial tone, the tone works in the phone, the old school phone, but all the rows have a single tone and all the columns have a single tone, and I might have mixed up rows and columns. And they add them together, and then the phone company can pick apart, like it's like a grid. So like if you hit I don't know what 147 or whatever, those all have the same tone, and then horizontally all have the same tone, and then they add the two together. Blah blah blah. Who cares? Let's listen. So already I kind of feel like this section could be cut down in length. It doesn't necessarily justify its existence for this long. This is actually really cool. The snare has no top end. In fact, the drums kind of have no top end. Yeah, some of those frequencies are a bit hard. It kind of reminds me of like old Mastercraft or something. But like the biggest problem with this, some of those like sounds are a bit hard on the ears, so I'd probably try to soothe those out, not necessarily with soothe the plugin, but in some way. But the biggest problem with this is just kind of the lack of top end in general, not just in the drums, but mostly in the drums. So let's figure out what the tempo is. Yeah. Rage Stone. Yes, I'll grab it after I'm done with this. So let's just do one of these classic things that I do a lot. Let's try to surgically transplant some drums in here just to see what it could sound like if it had better drums. And let me just do this. Okay, so we're going to take this and maybe copy it over a few more times. And then I'll just grab, let's do, actually, let's just do this. Let's go into loops and get, I think it's not 80s, maybe this. There. Let's just do this. Okay. You know what I mean? Like that already sounds way better to me. Let's go a step further. So this is the original track is going. The original track is going through this EQ. And now let's add those drums back in. And then see, like better drums, a bit more high end, but not on that E snare or the E sound because it's a bit much. But like already to me. Like your snare just has no body to it. It just kind of sounds like a little tap. It sounds like somebody's tapping me on the shoulder, like they want to let me know something, but they don't want to interrupt what I'm doing, but they're still kind of interrupting, but they're like soft interrupting. So they tap me on the shoulder lightly, but at the same time, it wouldn't really matter if they tap me on the shoulder lightly or heavily because I'm still going to turn around and ask them what they need. So that's what this snare reminds me of. But I think you have some cool stuff here. I think you have a cool start. It needs to just go harder. The intro is too long currently with what it has to offer for value. But I hope that those drums give you some ideas because I think this could be a sick track. I just think it needs to go harder in multiple ways. All right, let's move on. Near Do Well, the Tornado song. That's neat. Also, I should mention that I'm going to Mexico tomorrow for a week, and if the internet is good down there, I am bringing my laptop and a webcam and a microphone, and I'll do the stream. I'm just going by myself for a week, and I'll probably look forward to seeing some familiar faces. So, even though I can't see your faces, or I might be able to, you would never know. Anyway, if the internet's good, I'll do it. If not, then there will be no stream next week. Let's check out this song. This is dope. I really like this. It's kind of like a concept piece, like the wee is like the tornado, and that's the one thing I'd maybe try is, well, first of all, I don't think you need this headroom. I think it's better if you just, I mean, I didn't really limit it. I just got rid of the headroom. Anyway, that first of all, it could be louder, which I'm not usually saying. But I think so there's like this wall of sound the whole time. And if you broke that up every once in a while, you know, like the tornado sound, maybe it like chops out for like a quarter note and then comes back in or something. I think the wall of sound is cool, but what's even cooler is when you can flex your control over the wall of sound by like muting it hard and then bringing it back in, or like side chaining it a little deeper or something. Because to me, the track just kind of feels like this, it doesn't have as much of an edge to it. Like everything is just kind of there the whole time, right? So getting in and kind of cutting things up a little bit and doing some cool turnarounds at the end of measures, that could be cool, just spicing it up. But where it's at right now, it sounds like you're onto something. One thing I will say about the wah-wah sound is that it's kind of borderline getting a little to the cheesy side. I don't mind the wah-wah sound, but the fact that it just continually goes wah, wah, wah and moves up through different notes, that to me, it just sounds, I don't want to say lazy, you know, but it just doesn't, it doesn't hold my attention. Like if it was like wow, 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 yang, 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 wow, 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 like just like mixing it up a little bit so it's not just, because I can almost just picture like the LFO and Serum going over and over and over again, and you just like moving the notes up and down. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think adding some spice and some variety is probably a good move. Check out some Ivy Lab. I think Ivy Lab songs would be a good reference for this track. Give you some ideas, maybe. But yeah, I think you're onto something cool, and I hope that you keep going with it. Hold on a sec. Let me grab this. Ah, shit, wrong thing. Yin, 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 yin. Okay, I think that's all I have to say on this. It's a cool track. Good start. Keep going. Blah, 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 blah. Where are we? Did I just listen to, what the fuck did I just listen to? Oh yeah, that one. Okay. All right. Coalescence. Noir 1, 2, 3. 3 is in uppercase, so I don't know if that's relevant.
1, 2, 2.
Yeah, this is dope. I'd like to hear this with the rapper on it. I think a cool idea if you wanted to separate like the choruses from the verses and stuff is you've got that down, 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 that kind of melody. I totally could hear like a rapper singing just la da da, but like not singing it well, you know, with multiple layers of them singing it not well. You know what I mean? When you hear like rappers kind of singing and they're doing a bad job, but it would kind of sound worse if they were doing a good job. So I think that if you really amped up that da 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 that thing with the rapper singing, maybe like a guitar, like an old like Western sounding electric guitar or something, that would be sick. And then stripping it right back like you do right here for the verse. Cause like that leaves so much room for vocals, you know, that's gonna be sick. I also really like all the little that. I love those moments. Those are really good. I mean, like if he's good at singing, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I just think I just almost like gorillas. Like it sounds kind of gorillas-y, you know? And I can't think of the specific song, but anyway, it's dope. I don't really have any negative things to say about this. I feel like maybe the snare drum is a little weak. You know, it's in this style, especially where there's so much wonkiness in the rhythm, you know, there's like the kick isn't on the grid or it's very swung in a weird way. Everything's a little clunky and stumbling. It almost sounds like they're like falling down a hallway rhythmically. Having a snare to anchor us, to give us that reference point rhythmically is important. And I don't think that the snare is really cutting through enough to anchor us in the rhythm of the track as much as it could. I don't mind the sound of the snare. Kind of sounds like a shitty, like in a good way, shitty, like a lo-fi kind of snare from the 90s or something. But I think that either adding a layer or pushing it harder or change, maybe audition a few other snares. But to me, you can get away with a lot of wonkiness and clunkiness in the rhythm for this style, but having that nice sharp snare that designates this is the beat, you know, that helps a lot. So if I were to nitpick, I would say your snare just isn't really cutting through enough. Especially like one thing you could do is just solo the kick and the snare and listen to how much louder your kick is than your snare. And it's not that you're always trying to make your kick and your snare the same volume necessarily, but if you listen, or you don't even have to, if you just listen to it when I play it, listen to how loud your kick is in the mix, and then the snare is just kind of like a gentle little pat. Yeah, this is dope. I really want to hear it with the vocals on it, because you've created a nice place for vocals to live. So now let the vocals live and send it in. Cool. All right, those are my thoughts. Let's check out the next one. What do we got? Bride and Ava, With You. Okay, I can see this. I can see the problem visually. I like what the guitar is doing, but it's this frequency right here. So like, I'm not necessarily sure why. I don't know if that's just the sound of the guitar or if you've done some stuff to the sound of the guitar to make that frequency really poke loudly. So I'm not necessarily saying you should just go into your guitar track and scoop a shit ton of like 3 to 5 kilohertz out. I would maybe look into why it's doing that, because maybe you have some stuff that's really boosting that frequency and you might as well fix it at the source, as opposed to having a bunch of stuff that's adding a bunch of frequency to that area or adding a bunch of amplitude to that frequency and then pulling it back out again. But you need to do something, because that's objectively harsh. Like musically, this is great, but that frequency is just, you could see it you could see it right here too, eh? Oh. I don't think it's in the master, because it sounds like it's just that like guitar sounding thing that's really offending the ears. The rest of the mix doesn't seem to have that big boost in that frequency. But it's the track is cool. That frequency is making it hard for me to listen. Like, it's that painful. I like that chord, that spicy chord change. I can't listen to this because it's actually, that one frequency is just so loud that it's painful. Yeah, like this track is honestly, it's really cool. I really like this track, but I can't listen to it with that guitar being that loud and that peaky in that frequency range. I would bring the guitar down in volume, but really address that frequency range. And I'm not sure what you're monitoring on. Maybe if you're monitoring on some cheap headphones or something, maybe that frequency range is dipped a lot and you don't necessarily hear it. I'm not really sure, but the only real advice I can give you on this right now is turn that guitar down and reduce that 3 to 5 kilohertz range quite a bit, and maybe look into what might be causing that to happen in the first place. Because it's just kind of masking everything else about the track. The chords, the melody, the music is great. The sound is I just can't listen to it because it hurts my ears. Okay, and I hope that's not harsh. The track is good. Just fix that and resend it. All right, moving on. Aiden Dodge, unscathed.
Didn't y'all learn your lesson?
Maybe I could use. Yeah, if you want to go and address that, and you can get it sent in the next hour or so, then for sure send it in, and we'll see what it sounds like for sure. Okay, back to this. Right off the bat, this kind of FM piano sound by itself just doesn't really do it for me. It just kind of has. It just doesn't, it's not enough to make, it sounds like a MIDI piano or something like that.
Didn't y'all learn your lesson? If you try to test me, it'll get messy. I'm scoring goals like Messi. I'm aggressively zesty, test me. Eating dodge on the battlefield, going all out, shit's for real. Keeping myself out of that cage, and after all the rules, I'm still. Eating dodge on the battlefield, going all out, shit's for real. Keeping myself out of that cage, and after all the rules, I'm still unscathed. I've gained self-esteem.
Like I don't mind that piano sound as like a layer to something else, but just by itself, it just sounds too like Casio, but not like old cool Casio, like newer mid 2000s Toys R Us Casio, trying to be a piano.
I'm still eating dodge on the battlefield. Go.
I would say personally, I prefer when you sing to when you rap. I think that you have a good voice for singing. I'm not that into the rapping as much.
And I know my place. My place. Trying to take me down, won't do shit to help your case. Your case. Unlike you and your boys, I'm still unscathed. Unfazed. I've gained self-esteem, so I don't need your praise. Or raise. I don't.
Like the melodies that you do are great. This part I like.
Tell me worse, and I know my place. My place. Trying to.
But like the call, like the call and response, my place, like it just doesn't hit the way I think you're trying to make it hit.
Unlike you and your boys, I'm still unscathed. Unfazed. I've gained self-esteem, so I don't need your praise. Or raise. I don't need you telling me worse, and I know my place. My place. Trying to take me down, won't do shit to help your case. Unlike you and your boys, I'm still unscathed.
You try to rate my skills like you know what you talking about. Trying to take me down the hole when I'd rather go my own route. I'm making my way into 10K hours, building up power, getting shit louder. Mixing emotions like clam chowder, and using on tea like it's chocolate powder. Unfazed.
I've gained self-esteem, so I don't need your praise.
Or raise.
I don't need you to.
Yeah, I think that Aiden's voice is more suited to a smoother singing style, and then the rapping just kind of feels a bit contrived to me. Like it feels like it's like trying to be a rapper, but it doesn't. I don't know. I'm hesitant to say any of this because like I don't want to. If you love rapping and you want to be a rapper, that's not to say that you can't do that. I just personally think that you are a better singer than you are a rapper, and it's not just a little bit. It's like you're a much better singer than you are a rapper.
Unlike you and your boys, I'm still unscathed. Unfazed. He's shouting me down, but he's still building up the wave.
The rave.
While I'm on the stage, you're stuck inside a cave.
Okay.
After everything that's right, you see, I'm still unscathed.
Because I think sometimes, I think I think your melodic skills are great. I think that the melodies you come up with are great. No problem there. But the rhythmic part of it, the da 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 da, like it's not, you're not as good at that as you are at writing the melodies. So take that with a grain of salt. You know, I'm just giving my opinion. If you think, you know, you want to keep working on getting better at the rhythmic part, but that to me is the shortcoming here, is that the rhythm feels clunky and rushed and almost like it's not a good take, you know, like you kind of like, you like stumble over the rhythm a little bit, or like the da 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 da, like it feels like it's too many syllables crammed into one spot or something. I don't know. That's what it sounds like to me. But again, the singing is great.
They won't give up, but I am still
Aiden
unscathed.
Dodge coming to the rave. I am still unscathed. After all the mosh pits I have been in, I am still unfazed.
And also so like the rapping here, da 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 da, like it's not, it's just it's just not that, it doesn't do it for me, you know. Da 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 da. I don't know, like mix it up a little bit or something. But I'm also not a rapper, so I can't fucking give you any advice on it.
Still unscathed. After all the mosh pits I have been in, I am still unfazed.
Chant to Aiden Dodge coming to the rave. I am still unscathed. After all the mosh pits I have been in, I am still unfazed. Aiden Dodge coming to the rave. I am still unscathed. After.
And also just like subject matter. I don't know. It's just, it's tough for me to find the right words for this. But subject matter, it just, I feel like it's not that relatable, or like it's not. I guess what I'm trying to say is maybe you've been in a lot of mosh pits, But to me, I don't really picture you being in a lot of mosh pits. It doesn't sound genuine or something. I don't know, and I could be wrong. Maybe you're multiple times a week you're ripping it up in a mosh pit. I have no idea. I don't know you, but it just doesn't feel that authentic to me. As opposed to maybe like you have put in songs before that. Like you're having girl problems and shit. Like I believe that, I believe that stuff, but just like, I don't know. I hope you can tell that I'm doing my best to give you real solid advice and not just sound like I'm shitting on this track. But to me, it just doesn't feel authentic to this track. I just can't picture you being like an avid mosh pitter all the time. So in that way, it just feels a little, not genuine.
All the mosh pits I have been in, I am still unscathed.
And like the flute, that's you. I know you play the flute and you're good at it. Like that seems genuine. The tracks where you're singing about something, the subject matter that's not, I guess it's just like when you try to go hard, you try to like be like hard. Are you, okay, that's weird, but like, are you like a hardened criminal? Are you like, is that who you really are? Maybe. To me, I don't see you like that.
I'm so unscathed, unfazed. I've been self-esteemed, so I don't need your praise or raise. I don't need to tell me once that I know my place. My place. Trying to take me down, won't do shit to help your case. Your case.
Yeah, like this part when you're singing this sounds genuine. It sounds like you. I believe you when you sing like this. When you're like, I'm, you're gonna regret fucking with me and shit like that. Like I don't really believe you when you say that. But I believe you when you're singing about hardships and you're trying to do something. You're trying to overcome something. It just sounds more authentic to me. And again, I could be wrong about all this. You could be the hardest motherfucker out there. I don't know, maybe you got 3 or 4 kills under your belt. I don't know. But I'm just letting you know how it sounds from my point of view. I really like when you sing. I think that you have a good voice and you are great at writing melodies. The rapping just doesn't do it for me. I don't know. I hope that's helpful in some way. And I hope that I'm not just being harsh. I'm certainly trying not to be. I don't know if the camera froze. It looks okay to me. Okay. So that's what I think, Aiden. I think that you should lean into and if you if you disagree with all this, then that's fine too. This is just my opinion coming from somebody who doesn't know you, that just listens to the music. And to me, the singing sounds authentic, the rapping not so much. Okay, let's check out Swiss Cheese. To the Horizon. Blah, 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 blah. Let's have a listen. So musically, this is great. It reminds me of kind of like early Deadmau5 stuff. So when it drops into this, I like the idea. I like building it up and dropping into a simplistic like bass driven drop, at least initially. But the bass is kind of not really there. There's some strangeness. There's something happening. Like what happened to the bass right here? And you can kind of see like the bottom end just kind of feels not solid. It's kind of sounds like it's phasing in and out, and it may or may not be phase causing it to do that. It could be maybe this aggressive side chain and the kick drum. You know, like you can kind of tell this doesn't really look like a drop if you look at the waveform. And of course, people don't look at the waveform, they listen to it. So the visuals don't matter if it sounds good, but to me there sounds like an issue here. So the visuals can help kind of diagnose the problem. I think you must have a sub bass and a not sub bass, like a pluck bass and a sub bass or something, because like the sub sounds very loud most of the time. But there's some moments where like look at how loud the bass is right here, but then like here it's not. In this track I have only one bass. Okay. There's something causing the bottom end to not feel anchored and solid. It's just kind of like every once in a while a note will be like, whoa, that's loud, and then every once in a while a note will just not be there at all, like right here. You know? There's no bass, you know, but then the next one right here, there's lots of bass. But then right here, it goes da-dum. There's a da-dum, and the dum is a bass note. But it's really quiet. Da-dum. It's really quiet, especially compared to, you know what I mean? Like this right here, between the kicks, this section right here is very bassy. Immediately, the next bass note we hear is barely bassy at all. So to me, when it comes to at least the technical aspect of this track, that would be the first thing I would look into is for this style of music, the relationship between the kick and the bass has to be nailed. Like you have to nail that. The kick and the bass have to be on the same team, and they have to be contributing to the cause. You know, they have to be the kick is providing the groove, and the bass is working off of the kick, and the kick's there, but then the bass is right there after the kick is done to fill in between. Like the interaction between those two elements is very, very important for this style of music. And I feel like there is definitely room for improvement in this one. Also, oh my God, I'm 7 minutes. See, like, it's not as noticeable here, but if you specifically listen to it, it's still an issue. The bottom end is there, it's there, it's not there, it's not, it's there, it's not there, it's there, not there. You know, like it's not reliable. I can't rely on that bottom end, you know? So my next note is that in terms of melody, you kind of have some melody baked in with the piano parts that are happening, but I would really pick what you think the melody should be, because there's kind of lots of notes happening, and I would distill it down to a hooky melody. and then deliver that with maybe a synth, or deliver it a little more intentionally with the piano, and maybe have it during parts of the drop, because there's lots of harmony in this track. The chords sound great, lots of emotion being portrayed with the way the chords move around and play off of each other, but it feels like you haven't quite boiled it down to like, this is the melody of the song. You know, it's just a lot of almost improvisational sounding riffing. It's just like riffing, you know. I think if you dug through your riffs and figured out exactly what the melody was, you could lean into that a bit more and deliver that as the melody of the song. Again, okay, here, check this out. This right here, this moment, the sub, oh my God. The sub is like crazy loud compared to the rest of it. So what's up, dude? We're just listening to songs that people send in, and we're giving them our thoughts. So yeah, I think that the two big issues with this, three issues. One is, why the fuck is it 7 minutes long? I don't know. Second is, the sub and bottom end is not reliable. So figure out what's going on with that. And then third is, try to nail down an actual melody and then lean into that and present it as the melody of the track. Sure. Okay. It used to be 8. Okay. Well, good. Nice cut down. To me, just because house tracks can be 7 minutes long doesn't mean that this track is justifying itself being 7 minutes long. Maybe if there was a bit more of a melodic thing that plays off of something, you know, like, to me, you're just kind of, it sounds like you've got a very good chord progression, a cool groove, and then you're like modulating stuff and opening filters up, and it sounds good, but like, I don't know if I would listen to 7 minutes of this. To me, the journey that is happening here probably could be 4 minutes, maybe 4.5 minutes, but I just don't know if making it this long is necessarily a good move. Yeah. Okay. That's what I think about this track. Thank you for trying, King Cobra. It's slash Fowler music though. I appreciate the effort. Yeah, look into that stuff. I think your strengths are harmony, chords, groove, but look into the bottom end, especially, sort that out, and then maybe try to find a melody and give us a melody. Blah, 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 blah. That's what I think. Okay, let's check out. Oh wait, Rage Stone sent in a new version, didn't they? Oh, yes. I think 45 points. Dude, please don't tell me this is version 45.7. Is this version 45.7? Oh, God, I feel your pain. Anyway, let's have a listen. Let's have a listen to Rage Stone, ID 45.7. Dude, this is sick already. I really like this. Check this out. I want to show you something. Let me just go in here, and then go here, and then go here, and then it's this one. Okay. Check out this song. Well, not the full song, but it just reminds me kind of.
Deep inside the thunder hides far and wide.
I could have swore I had something in.
Lightning strikes upon the ground. Fire down. Even in
Never mind. I thought I had like something that sounded very, very similar to this like cool percussion thing you have, but I think I'm just full of shit. So anyway, back to your track. Yeah, I know. I had the limiter down by accident. I fixed it though. This is really sick so far. My first negative thought was this this transition just kind of happened, you know, like this is a big moment. We're going from an insane drop back to like a breakdown that's emotional and melodic and harmonic and nice. This is a big moment, but there wasn't really anything to designate that this big moment happened besides just it happening. Like there was no kind of like build up to it. There was no swoosh leading up to it. Maybe that whoop, 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 whoop could be like high passed and then like delayed out and like an impact or something like that. I would try to not go for like just like the high pass, like DJ kind of transition thing. I would try to make it creative in some way, but I do think that because this is such a big moment, there should be more what's the fanfare around it, you know, more importance, more effects, to let us know that this thing is about to happen, and then to let us know that it just happened. Also, what is she saying? Penis rage? yeah, this track is dope. That my only real note is with that transition, and then like to me this section kind of feels like you're just figuring it out, but like I think you can kind of do this drop section without having sub bass for a little bit, but I kind of was expecting some sub bass, excuse me, to come back in, and it didn't. I feel like this section should still have sub bass. But besides that, this track is fucking sick, dude. That's a great job. Just make that transition a little better and keep going. That's it. That's all I got. All right, let's move on. And I'm going to grab Mr. 99's track here. In fact, I think I did already. Blow up. There we go. Okay, next up, we got Oxidized Distress Signal times Tempest. I hope you guys are ready to be oxidized. It's not a pleasant experience. Just joking. Yes, that's where you would submit for today. Okay, so these sounds are cool and interesting. The intro is a bit long, I think, it kind of sounds like a car is idling, but in like a 90s video game. Shut up, Raham. But I do like it. I just think that it could be, you could like lose one of these sections or shorten it. I don't know. To me, it's just, why are we listening to a car idling for that long? Okay, let's keep going. What is 225 kilobits per second? We've seen some interesting bit rates, but 225, I don't know if I've ever seen that before. Yeah. So I like the beat. But like the idling car sound, it almost sounds like it's being sidechained, but it kind of sounds like it's just going into a compressor with the drums and it's being kind of like unintentionally sidechained or something. And I know that this is a style of music that I'm not familiar with. So obviously my opinions on this, you got to filter through your mind that is into this style of music because it's not in my wheelhouse. But that it kind of like gives me a bit of anxiety, which maybe is the point. But the side or the pumping of the compression on the car sound is like it's a little. And then my next note was going to be like, there's no bass, but here we go. This kind of reminds me of when you are like, when you're a passenger in a car on a long drive and you're kind of like nodding off, and the road noise is kind of like, because you're kind of fading in and out of consciousness, the road noise is kind of like coming in and out. I don't know if you guys, and especially when you're driving past trees and the sun is like being chopped up by the trees and you're just kind of like starting to drool a little bit. That's what this reminds me of. That kind of like the noise is kind of unstable and in and out. This is interesting. I'll definitely give you that. Wow. I like that part. I kind of wish we got that part earlier. Like, and maybe that's the point. But like, what tempo is this? Anybody? I can't see like the drums. Nope, I feel like I'm off by... Okay, where's the other? This is the other, okay. So that means that needs to go over there? It's like 90. Let's try 90. Okay, we're getting closer, I think. It's so hard to get the tempo on this because you can't see like the transients. Oh, you know what? $5 on 140. I'll take you up on that. Let's do it this way. Let's go like this. Let's wait. Why is it doing that? I'm gonna say it's 85. You owe me $5, Velcode. Okay, so now we know what the tempo is. I just want to try. Where do I send? I'll DM you my address. Like, I just want to see what it sounds like with a really dirty, you know what? We're going to do it. Fuck it. Yeah, we're going to do Baby Maybe. And then let's just, boop. Let's do this. Why not? Okay. Yeah, I'll give you my Venmo. I usually only give that out on my OnlyFans, but I'll make an exception. Well, we gotta treat the snare the same way the rest of the song is treated here. Anyway, I think the song is cool. It's very unique. I really like the part at the end, and I wish that it happened sooner. I think that's pretty much my thoughts on it. Why are you violating that snare? Because I thought it was appropriate. Like the rest of the track is very violate-y. So why wouldn't the snare be violate-y as well? Violate-y? Vile lady. Like a lady that's vile, like disgusting, a vile lady. Okay, anyway, that's what I think. Thanks for sending. Let's check out Bleed's track, Without You. And let me also go grab Mr. D. D's nuts. Got him? Okay, let's check out this track. Ah, that's sick. Where did you send it, Bryden? I didn't see it. Feedback stream May 3rd. Am I not seeing it somewhere? Anyway, do you want to just chuck it in the May 3rd? It's in the stream. It says V2. Am I fucking... Oh, I am blind. Okay. Yeah, I got it. Okay, cool. Back to this. Okay, this is sick. So far, my only real thought is I loved when the drop happened, but I didn't know it was about to happen. Like it just kind of caught me off guard, not necessarily in a good way. You know, like besides that ticka-ticka, the little hi-hat thing, there was really no indication that anything was about to happen. And you know, you want some contrast between the build up and the drop section of the chorus or whatever you want to call this. But you could have teased me, could have got me in the mood a little bit first, provide a little foreplay or five play, whatever it's called. Because it just kind of happened. And I feel like if there was just a little bit more build up, it probably would hit harder. But anyway, let's keep going. I love some of those spicy Mozart chords that are in there. That's very cool. The only thing I'd say about this part is I feel like you gave us everything right off the top. I feel like maybe take the piano out for the first part and just let us maybe simplify the drums a little bit. There's just a lot all at the same time. And it's all good stuff. I just feel like if you dropped a little bit more simplified, you know, like dum 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 dum, like boil it down to the groove and present that to us so that we can chew on it and understand it, and then start bringing in some of those ancillary parts. Like there's a lot of stuff happening, and I think introducing them a little bit more individually would help. And also I don't think the arrangement is as good as it could be. Like I know I'm listening to it and starting and stopping, and maybe I should just listen to it and let it play through, but so if we analyze this, this first part, you are establishing a mood, you're introducing the chord progression and some of the elements.
Take me home. Optimism's fading. I've had enough of waiting for you. Listen close, 'cause I don't wanna tell you twice. I'm dreaming of a better life without you. I've gotta cut you loose and learn how to do it without you.
What if, and Bleed, can you tell me what the tempo is so I can cut this a little easier instead of doing it manually? 174, okay. 174, so we'll do 87.
Take me home. Take me home. Optimism's fading.
Yeah, that seems right. Okay, so
Better life without you.
25. What's it sound like if we can?
Better life without you.
I think that's better. To me, it's too broken up. Like it took a while to get into the verse, and then okay, now we got some pace, we got some energy, we got some rhythm, but then you pull it out from underneath of us, and then we have to build that energy back up, and it just kind of felt like it lost steam, like it just kind of it fizzled out, and I wasn't ready for it to fizzle out. So just cutting that little section out to me sounds better.
I've gotta cut you loose and learn how to do it without you. Without you.
And see, now the breakdown feels a little bit more appropriate or deserved. Like we went through some higher energy rhythmic stuff for a while without any real break. Now you can break down a little bit and it feels like, oh, we were ready to take a break. Wait a minute. Aaron, and I think I'm hung up on you. What is that? This is ABBA or something? It's sick and I like it. It just reminds me of that.
Optimism's fading. I've had enough of waiting for you. Listen close, 'cause I don't wanna tell you twice. I'm dreaming of a better life without you. I've gotta cut you loose and learn how to do it
I love these parts, but I feel like they should be simplified. There's so much cool like things happening, but there's also so much background elements, and it reminds me of that track that you sent me. And maybe this is personal preference, I don't know, but when I just deleted half of the shit in your drop and let the main elements really be like the main elements, to me it had more identity and it was cooler sounding. Like this kind of feels a bit smoothed out too much with a bunch of stuff. You know, it sounds to me like it's a little too almost like insecure, and adding a lot of layers to try and solve that insecurity, because now each element doesn't have to be amazing because it's not there by itself, right? But that to me is the downfall of this track and that other track. I don't think you sent me this track. I think it was a different one. But you had a lot of great elements, but like you said, need to learn to let stuff breathe, because like you've got this like like it's so cool and ninja, you know? But when you have so much other stuff surrounding it, it's just crowded and it loses its chugga, you know? So that overall, besides maybe the arrangement could be better, you know, like that's a pretty easy fix. I think that was an improvement. The rest of it still doesn't necessarily flow it's not bad, but it doesn't flow as good as I think it could. And also stripping stuff out of like your main drop sections, chorus, whatever you want to call it. I think that's going to help with the arrangement as well, because it's going to be more clear what part is what, you know, like your buildups have a lot of elements. Your drops have a lot of elements. Your verses have a lot of elements. Like there's a lot of elements and they all sound great, but to go and just delete some stuff, at least from the start of the drop, you know, you can get away with having a lot of stuff after the drop has been established. You know, halfway through the drop, bringing in more rhythmic stuff, more background stuff. But yeah, to me, this just 120, yeah, has a fair amount. To me, this kind of does suffer from, and I feel it too. You know, I think it's something that most producers really struggle with, is simplifying and letting the main elements really be the main elements, and not padding them with a trillion other elements to try and not allow you to keep the spotlight off of one specific thing. You know, like there's some really good sounding stuff in here. And also, like that track that you sent me that I chopped up, if you looked at the drop, it still had all the elements, but I just like deleted, like, you know, from here to here, you know, element A didn't exist, but then it came in right here. But during this moment, elements B and C were gone and element A was there. And then, you know what I mean? Like, just, I don't know. I think you understand. I think I'm just beating a dead horse off, or whatever the saying is, beating off a dead horse. Is that what it is? I'm just jerking a dead horse. I think the track is sick. I think that there's a lot of great elements, and I think that you should definitely simplify the drops so that we know this is the drop. Okay, cool. Let's keep going. Counterfeit. Sorry. It's counterfeit. Contrififte. Sitting in a gaff. What is a gaff, first of all? That sounds British. Let's have a listen.
God, I was sitting in the gaff, and I had no fucking clue. God, I was sitting in the gaff, and I had no fucking clue. God, I was sitting in the gaff, and I had no fucking clue. God, I was sitting in the gaff. I was sitting in the gaff, and I had no fucking clue. Yes, I had to say, something to go with, yeah, empty bag, motherfucking making say. I was sitting in that cup and I had no fucking clue. Yes, I had to do something to go with, yeah, empty bag,
This is hilarious. Is it? It's got to be. It sounds British as fuck. I don't know what a gaff is. Can somebody tell me what a gaff is so I can understand the context? Okay. My first thought was that when this
When I had no fucking clue. I was sitting in the dust.
gaff is slang for a house party. Okay. All right. Cool. When the kick came in,
When I had no fucking clue. I was sitting in the dust. When I
it feels off time, and I'm pretty sure it's just because you have like a long attack on the modulation of the yin yang thing. But like it just, to me, it threw like you've never submitted anything, and I'm like, oh, is this going to be really bad because this sounds like it's not in time? But then I kind of figured, okay, it's probably just the modulation on the wubby kind of sound that's fading in that's making it feel really late. Because sometimes you can have stuff late and it sounds cool and wonky, like that hip hop track. Which one was it? I don't remember who it was. But the hip hop track we listened to that had kind of that wonky vibe to it. But this, it was just a bit too far. It just, to me, sounded like it was off time.
I was sitting in the dust. I was sitting in the dust and I had no fucking clue. Yes, I had to clue.
My next thought was, your wubs and basses. Check that YouTube link, Nick. Okay, I'm gonna have to figure out how the hell to do that. Can somebody like post it in the Discord? Because I can't click on OBS. Anyway, so your bass super wide, everything except the kick and the snare super wide, and then the vocals are also super wide, and it just kind of sounded like the whole song was on the outside, and there was just kick and snare in the middle.
I had no fucking clue. Yes, I had to clue. Some circle, and it was only an empty bag. None of us looking straight. Some circle, and it was only an empty bag. None of us looking.
And to me, I'm a big proponent of keeping the vocal. If there's going to be a vocal in the track, and obviously there's exceptions to this. I don't like to say always do anything, but to me, the vocal should be in the center. It can have some width to it, but this sounds like it's all width, and not much center. And because you've already got like your the bass thing spread to the side, you're actually kind of not using all of the real estate that you have available to you to fit things in the mix, because the vocals could now be anchored a little bit more in the center, and maybe they have some width to them as well, but they're anchored in the center. So we have bass wubs on the side, vocals in the center. They both have their separate spaces in the mix. Now, if you just love the fact that the vocals sound like they're around you on the outsides and super wide, then that's fine. But to me, I would at least try anchoring them a bit more in the center so that the bass and the vocals both can not fight each other as much.
MC Monkey on the mic, yes I was sitting in the gaff and I had no fucking clue. Yes, I had to do something to do. I was.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I get the context now. Very British indeed. I would definitely have at least a small reverse into this instead of just.
When I had no fucking clue. I was sitting in the dust. When I had no fucking clue. I was sitting in the dust. When I had no fucking clue. I was sitting in the dust. I I was sitting in that cup and I had no fucking clue. Yes, I had to do. I was sitting with Elsie and Nepsy Bay. Motherfucking wicked slay. I was sitting in that cup and I had no fucking clue. Yes, I had to do. I was sitting with Elsie and Nepsy Bay. Motherfucking.
And the next thing, my next thought is, and this might come back to the fact that your vocals and your bass sounds are super wide, but the vocals feel very upfront in the mix, which is not a bad thing, but the bass kind of feels not very loud in the mix. It's just in the back, kind of wum 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 wum, and I'd maybe collapsing the vocals a little bit to the center will help with that, but I still think that, like, sub bass wise, it sounds loud enough, but the actual like the distorted bass sound to me doesn't have a lot of power behind it. But I really like I'm probably honestly gonna have I'm gonna have that stuck in my head after this, probably. I'm sitting in my gaff. I'm sitting in the gaff. Kind of reminds me of where? What was it? It's not this song. In before somebody complains that I don't have ad blocker.
I wish the milkman would deliver my milk in the morning. I wish the milkman would deliver my milk when I'm yawning. I wish the milkman would deliver my milk in the morning. I wish the milkman would deliver my milk when I'm yawning. I wish the milkman would deliver.
Anyway, it's not this song, but it's something similar. It has maybe it's the one that's like mashed potatoes. Why did you say mashed potatoes? Or whatever. God, I love the Aphex Twin. Anyway, sorry, I'm all over the place. My main thoughts are just that. I think you should try to anchor the vocals in the center and maybe give the distorted bass a little bit more presence in the mix.
I was sitting in that cup and I had no fucking clue. Yes, I had to do. I was sitting with Elsie and Nepsy Bay. Motherfucking wicked slay. I was sitting in that cup, sitting in that cup. I was sitting in that cup and I had no fucking clue. I was sitting in that cup, sitting in that cup.
And I think the track is super catchy, and it's mostly catchy because of what you did with those vocals. The rest of the track is it's okay, but it doesn't, like, without those vocals in there, I think I would be kind of bored with just dan. Like the progression is cool, you know, the drums sound good, but it just doesn't have enough variety, I think, for me to really be that into it. But then the vocals are doing a lot of heavy lifting because I'm like, it's catchy and it gets stuck in your head. But I think that maybe muting the vocals and developing the track a little bit more in terms of embellishments and layers and turnarounds and drum fills and just more interesting stuff, effects, that sort of thing. And then make sure the vocals cut through. What's up, Will? I'm not Mexican yet. Tomorrow. Anyway, thanks for setting. Definitely gonna have that stuck in my head. Cool. Let's check out "Blow Up" by 99. 99. I don't know what the name was. I think it was 99 something. Still sexy now. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Really appreciate that a lot. Okay, here we go. Okay, this is dope, but answer me this. Maybe this is a stylistic thing. But why do these hardstyle kicks not have much punch in them? It's almost like only the tail of the kick has the bass in it. I don't feel anything when the kick hits. But I noticed that it's not just this. Try like Sawyer when he sends stuff in. It also has no or very little. Like it's like I can hear the kind of transient, but I don't hear the like the hit. And is that like a style thing? I don't know, but to me, this could go very hard. But for me, coming from a pleb non-hardstyle point of view, 500 makes the kick sound. I just don't understand why the kick doesn't have like a doom, like a you know? Like would that like ruin something or is that just not what people want in this style? Because if what's the tempo? Is it something like ridiculous? Like the kick you're hearing at 174. It was close. There's in these. Yeah, and I'm kind of gathering that. I'm just wondering why. Having like a thick kick is a bad thing in this style of music. And I'm not saying that that's wrong. It would ruin the sound itself. Okay. Everyone loves it thick. It's a great contribution. If you get it's just fast techno. But yeah, and but like just bear with me. I mean, I don't know to me that doesn't sound necessarily like the right kick or the right mix of the kick. I just threw it on top of the track and let FL Studios Master Bus figure it out. But to me, that sounds more correct. Or another word I think that people sometimes use is the word better. But again, it's from my pleb point of view. So we can move on. To me, I think the kick should have more oomph to it, but I understand that I am not, and now I feel even more lost. But what we do sometimes is put a distorted snare under it. I'm learning so much. Yeah. From a purely technical point of view, I prefer having a bit more thickness. But anyway, let's move on because take it or leave it. That's what I would prefer, but I'm not into the style of music that much. I appreciate it, but I just don't listen to it a whole lot. Let's keep going. Oh God. Yeah, I think it's sick. I love 303 stuff. I love the 303. Uh, I think you and Sawyer would get along really well. Obviously, you and King Cobra are already kind of hitting it up, hitting it up, hitting it off, beating it off. What is the? I don't know sayings very well. I think it's called beating it off, but I'm not really sure. Um, I think the track is dope. I think I would just prefer if the kick was thick, but that's just me. Um, I wish I had more. I wish I had more thoughts for you besides the kick needs to be thicker. But that's everything else sounds cool. I dig it. All right, let's move on. We got a couple more. Let's listen to the updated. Let's see if Bryden fixed the guitar. Okay, so it is better. You have reduced that frequency. If we A/B it with the original one. Yeah, you made a really large improvement. So good job. I think that the guitar is maybe like too reverbed or delayed, or like there's just, it's still kind of messy, but it's no longer destroying my eardrums when I listen to it at any amount of volume. So that is, yes, you have made a good change. I think it's still like just maybe way too loud. Like it's still very, very loud. It feels like somewhere in the signal chain, it is absolutely demolishing a compressor somewhere, like after the reverb and delay and everything. I think that just bringing the volume down is a good start. I think that reducing that frequency range, that helped a lot. But I think bringing the volume down and also looking into your signal chain. To me, it sounds like this is what's happening. You have guitar. This is the guitar. Oh, whatever. There we go. Guitar. Okay, you have the guitar. Then it sounds to me like it's going into some sort of amp simulator or something. It's picking up some overdrive. It's picking up overdrive, reverb, delay, maybe chorus. And then it sounds somewhere before it hits the speakers, it's going through a large amount of, oh, check this out. I'm going to use, oh, this is going to be amazing. Look at that. MS Paint knows what it's all about. It sounds like it's going through a very aggressive amount of compression. And what happens is you've got all this complexity from the reverb and delay and chorus, right? So you're picking individual notes, ding, 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 but it's filling in between those plucks with all of the reverb and delay. And then what's happening is as those plucks are going up and down, well, that compressor is digging down. As soon as a pluck happens, it reduces the gain, but as soon as the pluck is done, it cranks the gain way back up. And we have this like constant pumping of the compressor as it reacts to the reverb and delay specifically. So typically, unless you're going for something, typically I would probably I would separate the reverb and delay until after the compressor. That way you're controlling the dynamics of the guitar sound itself, but you're not having this crazy pumping action of all of the time-based effects that are delaying out and tailing out and reverbing and all that stuff. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe it's just hitting the master bus really hard and it is just strictly a volume problem. But at some point, it sounds to me like this guitar got a lot of reverb and delay and then got a lot of compression. Let's keep going. It just, to me, it sounds like the guitar is about 7.3 billion times too loud. And another thing that compression, pumping, delay, reverb problem contributes to is we're no longer really hearing dun 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 dun. Like it's just like it's just like you can't really tell where the notes are because everything is full volume all the time, so it loses its dynamics. But when you A and B, going into the master as the time-based effects are after the compressor. But yeah, I agree. The FWLR reduce the guitar track. Yeah, okay. So you definitely made a huge improvement. If we A B, like slipping into a bath. But yeah, I think what's happening is the master compression, the compression that's happening in the master, whether that's a compressor or a limiter, whatever, it is reacting to an extremely loud guitar signal. Everything else is just underneath this behemoth of a guitar signal. So you know what to do. Turn the guitar down. At least start there. The track sounds good. I like the chords. I like the beat. I like the groove. I like what the guitar is doing. It's just like, oh man, she's loud. Maximus. Yeah. So I a lot of the time when I get into a situation where I can't seem to fix something that's bothering me, I turn to meds, for better or for worse. I'm just joking. Not really. But one thing I do with music when I have a hard time, like production-wise, technically speaking, is I will simplify, like turn off the master effects altogether. Solo just the guitar. Turn off a bunch of the guitar effects. Like when you have, because I know if you're anything like me, you end up with these stupid long effects chains for no reason. And you're like, because you were trying to solve a problem and you've maybe solved a little bit of that problem, but you created a new problem. So you added another effect or another plugin to try and solve that problem, which created a new problem. And before you know it, you have like 25 effects on the guitar chain. And maybe it's better to just start over and delete all of the effects and try again with a more strategic approach from okay, I'm going to get the kind of the EQ curve correct, and I'm going to get the dynamics correct. And now I'm going to start bringing in some reverb and delay, as opposed to try and like, when you have a trillion knobs to turn, it's pretty hard to figure out what the fuck to do, right? So I would simplify. I'd turn off your master effects. I'd get it sounding as good as you can without any master effects at all. And then just use the master to bring up the overall volume and glue everything together. I hope a bunch of those words helped in some way. Okay, I think this is the last one for today. ICSY. Ixi Zabuza. Wow, that sounds like a really famous Italian man's name. Ixi Zabuza. Or maybe Japanese, Zabuza? Icy. Oh, icy. Okay. I see. All right, here we go. Sorry, it's called Glow Ma Shine. Glow Ma Shine.
Boozer on the fly shit.
Da 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 da.
Okay, this is dope. I don't want to be sexist. That was the best fucking joke I think you've ever made. I think last stream or the stream before I said that you made a joke that was the best joke you ever made. But that I think that is incredible. That like is a really good joke. Anyway, this sounds dope. It's super good. I think if I were to nitpick, I would say it could switch up a little sooner. Like we kind of get like the beat and then the beat, like giving me the beat boy, but the beat goes on a little too long. I would maybe like drop the beat out, like maybe, here or somewhere halfway through and just have bling and the saxophone or something, like drop the beat out so that we can have a little chill spot and we chill out and then bring the beat back, that like mix wise, production wise, musically, everything sounds dope. I don't have any issues. It's just the arrangement that I think could be better to have a bit more ebb and flow, a little bit more of a journey. It just kind of felt like we were building up and then we hit the beat and then we just like riffed on the beat the entire time. So to make it feel more alive and a bit more dynamic and like we're going places and we get to places and then we leave those places and we go to other places, just, dropping the beat out at some point. And you drop the music out, but you never drop the beat out. And maybe this is like a funk thing. I don't know, but from a strictly musical point of view or like straight up just the song, I think that somewhere around this area at some point it's not that I got bored, but I kind of got a little bored. Like everything sounded dope, but I was like, okay, we're still kind of rocking to this same groove and it's been a while, So just dropping the beat out and having just kind of swirl us in some melodic juiciness and then maybe when you drop back to the beat, you drop into just the beat with like the bass and like the vocal funk thing, but you like simplify it a lot so that there's distinguishable parts. I think that's what I'm trying to get at is like, I wish there were more distinguishable individual parts in the track. Right now, it sounds like it has an intro and then it's got the beat and those are the two sections, right? So yeah, I think you have a lot of amazing tools in your toolkit for this track. I don't think you really need to add anything. I think you need to go through and carve out a bit more of a journey for us, filled with, build-ups and not necessarily like snare build-up or whatever, but just like play with our anticipation, play with the energy level, let us chill out for a minute and then slap us in the face with the beat again. Just take us on a bit more complicated of a journey as opposed to just hitting us with this sick beat and then beating it, Why do I keep going to beating it and beating off, and I don't really know why. But you know what I do know? I know that I love you guys and I'm glad that you hang out with me, and I'm going down to Mexico by myself tomorrow for a week. And I'm really hoping that I'm going to be able to do my stream on Friday from there. If the internet allows it, I will let you know, because I probably will be going a little stir crazy, but who knows? Anyway, I hope you guys have a good weekend, and I will let you know as soon as I know whether the internet is going to support my face and FL Studio. Drink plenty of tequila. It may be. It will be free because I'm just going to like a basic, all-inclusive resort. So yeah, anyway, blah, blah, blah. I love you. Thank you for hanging out. And I will talk to you, hopefully from Mexico. Okay, bye.